We had a good start to Charlotte Prep. We got an early jump on that yesterday and got out on the turf and spent a good half hour on early walkthroughs, a little more than we usually get a chance to on Sundays. So it was good. Got two teams fighting for their first conference victory of the year. They've obviously had one. This is our first. It's our first Conference USA home game and their first night game. So I know there's going to be a really good atmosphere from all indicators. Their first home game this year was pretty live. So I'm excited to see what that is about. We'll have crowd noise working during the course of the week to try and get ready for that challenge. Health status, Bain, who had some issues there in the second half. He's a go. He tweaked his knee. Dylan is a go. He was out for a couple plays, just got the wind knocked out of him. Warren's listed at probable right now. Parfit is questionable. Quez is questionable, and Roman is still out at this point. We also have a stomach flu that we're working to contain. About 20 players and coaches since Friday have been challenged with that, so we're working our way through that. Good news, one of the things that has me optimistic is the weather looks drier this week, so we should get a full week of practice. It's been a challenge the last 3 weeks, so I'm excited about that. 20% tomorrow, 30% on Wednesday, 40% on Friday. I feel like a weatherman from our friends at Channel 5. So that's really where we're at right now, so I'll open it up for questions.
With the stomach flu, are those guys, I mean, do you expect those guys to play, or is it kind of just something?
You know, as it's working its way through the team, all indicators right now, it's a 24 to 36 hour deal. We had some kids dealing with it during the game, half a dozen kids Friday night before the game. Number popped up on a couple coaches today, so you know, we're just working our way through it.
Is there anything in particular that stands out about Charlotte on the film, Coach?
Yeah, they got two quarterbacks that both show they have signs that they can be productive. They have very active, multiple defense. I'm impressed by their Mike linebacker, Nick Cook. He had 13 tackles last week, and he's really active, physical kid. You know, they play a 3-4 and a 4-3, and a lot of multiple things tied into that. They have what they call a buck, which is essentially the boundary end in 4-3, or the boundary outside backer in 3-4. Number 11, Desmond Floyd. He is a physical presence there into the boundary. He jumps off the tape. And offensively, they've got two skill players. Number 10, Austin Duke, who's made a lot of big plays. Number 81 is someone that Trent Bostic has shown he can go up and get the ball, and I'm really impressed with their running back too. You know, the Middle Tennessee game, to me, the score is not an indicator of what this team is. Just what the game kind of got out of hand on them quick, and they tried to regather. But you know, Phillips, number 3, he had there at the end of the second quarter, he ran through 2 Middle Tennessee tacklers. I think they're an outstanding defense. So he shows that he's got ability.
Obviously, you know, turnovers, I guess, kind of key on Saturday. But what are some of the things that you feel like you guys need to change heading into this week?
Well, I mean, that's a thing. There's a couple obvious things we need to improve, and getting out there for a full week of practice will certainly help those things, and just work to improve those one day at a time.
Yeah, that was going to be a nice point. Just, you know, obviously you brought it up, a full week of practice. Just how much of a difference does it make to get those extra days and maybe a couple extra hours outside?
It makes a huge difference, you know, and you know, don't want to paint any picture. We got to figure out a way, regardless of what hand we're dealt. But I am excited that it looks like we're going to get a full week to be able to drill those things, your ball security drill, you know, just get things corrected. So I'm looking forward to a full week of practice.
Starting conference play, is there, I guess, is there a different mentality heading into conference play now?
Well, there's a reset to the season. In our minds, they're 0-1 and we're 0-0 from a conference, you know, record, and so there is a bit of a reset, and we're excited to get going, and you know, opportunity for a road win, opportunity for a Conference USA win.
Yeah, what would it be like to get that first win, you know, to be on the road? Because obviously some tough matchups at home, but just what would it be like to get that first road victory?
Well, I think any victory you covet and you celebrate. You have 24 hours to enjoy it, and I'm hoping we have 24 hours to enjoy a road victory this week.
What is Quez been able to do? I know you mentioned he's questionable, but how close is he?
He's getting closer daily. You know, he moved around more yesterday in practice than he had yet, so it truly will be another week of game time decision, but he's a lot further along than he was a week ago. We were hopeful last week, but again, listed as doubtful, and this week he's upgraded to questionable on a Monday, you know, gathering with you guys, so hopefully we're closer, which I believe we are.
With him, what percentage of help do you need to see out of him in order to put him on the, does he have to be 100%, or if he's at 80% of Quez is good enough to be out there?
It really, you can't put a percentage on it, Chuck. It's really, is he able to plant and throw? And is he able to move in the pocket? We all know Quez is a threat as a ball carrier. I don't think that him showing that he can still be a running back out in the open field is necessary for us to play Quez, as long as he can keep himself safe first and foremost and be able to move in the pocket and run the offense, because he's really good at it.
Is, looking back on the tape, what you saw of Driscoll, did he make a significant step from, say, Miami to the end of the Buffalo game? Did he progress like he wanted?
Did he improve? He did. He showed, again, like I said after the game, he played like a freshman, which is what he is. He at times threw some really good balls. I did see him progress during the course of the game. So Driscoll, we have a lot of faith in him.
I think Howell ran for 45 yards on 7 carries in the first quarter, and then kind of got away from that. Was that, how much of that, did Driscoll have the freedom to check out of plays, and is that why maybe there were so many passes as it went on, or?
No, I mean, really didn't get away from our game plan. I have all the faith in the world in our play calling and where we're going, and we've been very productive. It really comes down to we need to protect the ball better and eliminate penalties.
Did Saturday's loss feel any different than the first two? I mean, you played Tulsa close, you lost late, you played Miami close for a half, and then you come out and you lose by 18 to Buffalo. Did it feel any different? Did you see many positives from that game, as many as the previous two?
Well, you're seeing, Jalen Young gets his first start at free safety, makes a pick, makes some great plays. First play of the game, they hit us for, they ran a bootleg and snuck the tight end out, and that was on Jalen, and I continue to be impressed by his growth. Azeez Al-Shahir, I mean, he got drastically better through the course of 4 quarters, which is fun to see. O.C. Rose had his first start at nickel. You're talking about 3 true freshmen. Brandon Bryant played with more motor than I've seen him play with. There's still some things that as he gets more reps and continues to get where he's confident on everything he's doing, he'll continue to show up. There's a lot of positive things across the board. I mean, what Jensen did in the first half, the kind of first half that he had, and really was it's not that he didn't play well in the second half, but the production that he had. There's a lot of good things to take away from that game.
Yeah, can you just kind of, I guess, expand on Jalen Young, because, obviously he's really impressed the team out there, but what's it been like for him to come in here and watch him grow and get his first start and first game, his first interception?
He had everyone's attention the second he walked in the door. I mean, Chuck tested all those guys to see where they were in the weight room, and he destroyed it, which is kind of a Seminole Ridge compliment to their program. They have very, very strong kids there. 3 of our stronger kids include Jalen and Roman and Antonio Woods, and it's always been that way at Seminole Ridge. But he's really, every day since he's walked onto this campus, shown that he has an approach and a maturity level and an ability to grow quickly. So we really weren't all that surprised that he had a good game. We anticipated that he would do well. I don't know that we would have anticipated we would see that much growth within a game. It was impressive to watch.
Are we going to see the return, or see the strap drill this week, you think?
Well, I'm hoping we get a full week of practice. It's been every week we've had a full week of practice. It's been used.
If when you had this fumble and stuff crop up last year, you turned it to Buddy Howell. If you followed that same path, it would seem like maybe you would consider Carrot. Is that
Completely different scenarios. Yeah, completely different scenarios. Buddy's, Carrot is doing a great job, but if you remember, we were in, I think it was week 7 that Buddy came out. We were halfway into the season, and Buddy was doing some things on scout team that really is what determined us to pull the red shirt off of him. And to my recollection, he went for 120 in his first game. So really, really different scenarios.
What about Trey? Do we see him this week?
No.
Is this the last week we don't see him?
It's the last week that he's on suspension at this point.
Anybody else?
Jay
Warren?
Yeah. Is he good to go?
He's listed as probable. I want to make sure that I don't get caught saying the wrong thing. He is probable from a health standpoint.
Is it tough as a coach to see you having so much success running the ball, but also when the fumbling crops up, it's been kind of deadly too. So is it difficult to decide where to put your faith or how to go about calling that? What's that like?
The thing I'm encouraged about is these kids continue to fight to get better. As an example, I had a freshman who's really focused on special teams come into me today and talk about how we can get better on kickoff return. Those are the things that I'm encouraged by. And again, as we get a chance to drill the things this week with the opportunity to be out there, I know that we'll get it fixed.
What do you think of Cameron?
Tyler Cameron?
No, I'm sorry, Cameron Solomon. Kind of like it seemed like it was his kind of coming out game.
I think he had a nice performance. You know, I mean, there's things that he did that, you know, are encouraging. So I'm excited.
All right, thank
You know, the one catch that jumps out. Sorry to cut you off, Katrina, but there was one catch that really on our sideline where he had to adjust and go up and make a play and get his feet down. That to me is a little bit of a coming out party. You know, the one where he was wide open, albeit an explosive big play. The one that refers to me, and as I process your question, it was seeing what he did on that 10-yard gain where he adjusted and went up and made the play. His coming out has come across the board, and this is worth talking about because he's matured off the field, and here you're seeing him mature as a football player, which is the description of our team right now. You're going to see maturity and growth throughout the course of the year. It's talk about getting better every week. That's going to be the story of 2015 for Florida Atlantic.
Was it for receivers, is that one of the last things that comes, the ability to adjust to passes, or what made that so impressive to you? Is that something he hasn't shown?
No, it was just a game time play that was another level for. I'd seen it in practice a lot, and to see, you know, a second-year player make that play that we've seen in practice in a game, it's a step. It's another one of those moments where you say, okay, he's done it in a game. Now we're going to see more of this. You can point to a game clip instead of a practice clip to say you can do this in games.
Is Woods at that level? Has he made that move as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, he has. He's done some really nice things. I thought he had a chance to go up on the double pass and go steal that ball. The one Tony threw that ended up being an interception leading to a safety for our defense. And I showed it to him on film, you know, because our expectations for Caleb is very high because he's extremely talented. He's made some really nice catches this year. He's made some hard catches look easy that you shrug off, and he's made them look easy. That one would have been a highlight reel type of catch, but we expect that from Caleb now because we see it all the time, you know, out there on the practice field.
Is that what he has to work on? You think being just a little bit more physical? Because he doesn't have the body type that he'll probably have.
You know, he's really good at back shoulder throws. He's really going up and high pointing the ball. That was an opportunity where I know he can go get the ball. Just